I'll be back.
The Terminator wasn't just a sci-fi thriller about a killer robot from the future. It was a film where the star showed up to lunch, still in full cyborg makeup, and terrified an entire restaurant, where O.J. Simpson was rejected for being too nice to play a cold-blooded killer, and where James Cameron literally lived in his car while writing the script that would launch his career. But behind those iconic sunglasses and that relentless pursuit were casting decisions that could have changed everything. A director who pawned his belongings to survive, and special effects created in hotel rooms. These are 20 weird facts about the Terminator. And in the endoskeleton is a story about how Hollywood's most unlikely hit was built from pure determination and a $6.4 million budget. Now, let's get to it. Number 1. You'd think the most embarrassing moment on set would involve a blown line or missed cue, but Arnold's most mortifying experience happened during lunch break. One afternoon, still in full Terminator makeup with missing eye, exposed jawbone, and burned flesh, he decided to grab a bite at a downtown LA restaurant. He walked in, sat down, and only then realized his mistake, as every patron in the place stared in horror at what appeared to be a severely injured man casually ordering a sandwich. The Terminator may have been designed to blend in with humans, but Arnold definitely didn't that day. Number 2, most actors prepare for roles by studying the script, but one future superstar almost lost the part because he couldn't stop talking about how to play a different character. Arnold Schwarzenegger originally auditioned for Kyle Reese, the human resistance fighter, but during his meeting with James Cameron, something strange happened. Arnold kept interrupting to explain how the Terminator should move, think, and behave. He was so passionate about the killer robot that Cameron walked out of that meeting and told his team, "We just found our Terminator." The role that made Arnold famous was one he wasn't even auditioning for. Number 3, the film's most famous catchphrase almost sounded completely different, and it took a heated argument to get it right. "I'll be back" was originally written as "I'll come back" in the script. Arnold found this awkward and asked James Cameron if he could say, "I will be back," instead, thinking it sounded more robotic. Cameron, known for his exactness, insisted on the simpler version. They went back and forth until Cameron finally said, "Just trust me on this one." That 3-word phrase became one of the most quoted movie lines in history, proving sometimes directors know best, even when actors disagree. Number 4, movie studios carefully consider their casting choices, but one decision was made for the strangest reason imaginable. O.J. Simpson was seriously considered for the Terminator role, and the producers were initially interested. But James Cameron had reservations. That seems ironic now. He thought Simpson was too nice and too likable to be believable as a cold-blooded killer. The role went to Arnold instead, and Simpson's career took a very different path. Sometimes casting directors make decisions that seem bizarre until history proves them right. Number 5. The inspiration for cinema's most relentless killer came from the most vulnerable moment in James Cameron's life. While sick with a fever in Rome, Cameron had a nightmare about a metal skeleton emerging from flames, unstoppable and without mercy. He woke up and immediately sketched the image, and that terrifying vision became the foundation for the entire film. The Terminator's cold, mechanical nature was born from a moment when Cameron himself felt completely helpless and feverish in a foreign country. Number 6. Artists often suffer for their art, but Linda Hamilton took this to an extreme that changed her forever. On the very first day of filming, she sprained her ankle during a chase scene. Instead of stopping production, she pushed through the pain and filmed nearly the entire movie on an injured foot. If you watch closely, you can see her favoring one leg in several scenes, especially when she's running. That determination to keep going despite the pain helped shape Sarah Connor into the resilient fighter fans would come to love, because Hamilton's real toughness became part of the character. Number 7. The film's iconic look was created through a last-minute wardrobe change. The Terminator's signature sunglasses were an emergency solution. During filming, Arnold's metal eye wasn't sitting properly, making it obvious it was fake. The solution was simple: throw on a pair of dark shades to cover the problem. That quick fix created one of the most recognizable villain looks in movie history. Number 8. Most composers work in professional studios with expensive equipment, but the Terminator's haunting theme was born from broken gear and pure stubbornness. Brad Fiedel created the iconic mechanical heartbeat rhythm in his garage using a battered Oberheim synthesizer that kept glitching and malfunctioning. Instead of fixing it or finding better equipment, Fiedel fought against the machine's quirks to produce that raw, relentless sound. The theme that became synonymous with unstoppable mechanical terror was literally created by a man battling his own malfunctioning machine. Number 9. The film's most terrifying visual effect was achieved through an artist's dedication that bordered on obsession. Stan Winston didn't sculpt the iconic endoskeleton in a big Hollywood studio. He crafted it in a hotel room while juggling other projects. Working late into the night, with makeshift tools and hotel carpet stuck to his shoes, Winston created one of the most recognizable images in sci-fi history. That chrome skeleton that haunted audiences' nightmares was born in a motel room with a "Do Not Disturb" sign on the door. Number 10. Before the Terminator became a blockbuster franchise, it almost never got made because of one man's incredible sacrifice. James Cameron was so broke while writing the script that he pawned his car, his TV, and even his typewriter just to survive. He was living in a tiny apartment, eating canned food, and sleeping on friends' couches. When his own agent told him to drop the project, Cameron fired him on the spot. He refused to sell the script unless he could direct it himself, turning down bigger paychecks for studios who wanted someone else behind the camera. The Terminator exists because one man literally bet everything he owned on his vision. Number 11. The film's most impressive action sequence was created by a single artist working frame by painstaking frame. Those haunting shots of the full-metal endoskeleton limping through the factory, they were pure stop-motion animation done by Doug Besrick. He moved the Terminator model by tiny increments and snapped a photo after each adjustment. Just a few seconds of footage could take weeks to complete, and Beswick worked tirelessly to match the lighting and motion to live action shots. One man's patience and precision created one of the most iconic visual moments in sci-fi history. Number 12. Most actors memorize hundreds of lines for major roles, but Arnold Schwarzenegger delivered just 58 words in the entire film. James Cameron deliberately cut most of his dialogue to make the character feel more machine than man. The silence made them unpredictable, eerie, and dangerous, yet those few words became instantly legendary. "I'll be back. Come with me if you want to live." It's proof that sometimes fewer words can leave the biggest impact. Number 13. The movie's modest budget led to one of the most resourceful prop decisions in film history. Carl Reese's iconic trench coat wasn't specially made, it was found at a thrift store for just $1. The wardrobe team was working with almost no money and needed something that looked like it belonged to a post-apocalyptic soldier. They found that worn grey coat, and it became an integral part of the character's look. Number 14. The film's most dangerous stunt was done by the director's personal property. The sleek red Ferrari, driven in several scenes, wasn't a movie car provided by the studio. It was Hal Needham's personal ride that he handed over to the production. Without hesitation, no insurance waiver, no backup car on standby. He just said, "Don't wreck it." They came within inches of disaster several times, but the car survived. Number 15. Behind the scenes, a secret romance was blooming. Director James Cameron and producer Gail Ann Hurd were quietly dating during production, keeping their relationship completely under wraps to maintain professionalism. No one on set knew that the two were falling in love while creating this story about relentless pursuit. Hurd wasn't just romantically involved with Cameron, she was instrumental in getting the film made, helping him navigate studio resistance and fight for key casting decisions. Their secret relationship eventually became public after the film's release, and they married in 1985. Number 16. The film's original vision was even more ambitious, but technology limitations forced a creative compromise. James Cameron's early script featured not one, but two Terminators sent back in time. Arnold's T-800 and a more advanced liquid metal prototype that could morph and shapeshift. But in 1984, the visual effects technology simply didn't exist to pull that off convincingly. Cameron saved the liquid metal idea for later. That concept would eventually resurface as the terrifying T-1000 in Terminator 2: Judgment Day. Number 17, the film's most technically challenging scene almost broke the production budget and required multiple attempts to get right. The opening time travel sequence with the electrical effects and the Terminator's arrival was achieved through a combination of practical lightning effects and careful timing. They had to coordinate multiple electrical charges, smoke machines, and Arnold's entrance, all while ensuring no one got electrocuted. The sequence ate into their already tight budget, but it created the explosive introduction that set the tone for everything that followed. Number 18. The Terminator had one final scene that was shot weeks before the release. When the Terminator breaks into a car was added at the last minute when Cameron realized he needed one more moment to show the character's relentless nature. But here's the crazy part. Cameron had run out of money and couldn't afford a police permit. So he and Arnold Schwarzenegger went out alone with a single camera, filmed the entire sequence in just 2 hours. They were essentially filming illegally. The Terminator's final display of unstoppable determination was created by two guys with a camera, no permits, and pure filmmaking audacity. Number 19. Schwarzenegger turned his Terminator preparation into an obsessive month-long weapons training regimen. He practiced firearms handling every single day, working with military advisors to learn loading, aiming, and firing without blinking or flinching. The extreme part is that he spent the first 2 weeks practicing weapon stripping and reassembly blindfolded until the motions became completely natural, like a machine. He even practiced individual moves up to 50 times each to achieve perfect mechanical precision. It was Arnold literally programming himself to move like a killer robot. Number 20. The movie's success caught everyone so off guard that a sequel was greenlit before the first film was even finished. During filming, producers watched the dailies and realized they had something special. Word spread that test audiences were loving it, and one executive reportedly said, "This is a hit, and we're not even done yet." And before Cameron called rap, they were already planning Terminator 2. The franchise was born not from careful planning, but from pure excitement. The real Terminator wasn't the chrome endoskeleton. It was the relentless determination of filmmakers who refused to give up on their vision. Sometimes the most unstoppable force isn't a machine from the future, but human creativity that won't take no for an answer. But the behind-the-scenes magic and weird facts is just the beginning for the series' incredible secrets. If you want to find out the other movies, make sure to like and subscribe. Take care. We'll see you next time.